Hey lovely people, my name is Riad, and for the past almost 5 years, I've been working on Crusader Kings III. I used to be in QA. Well, technically I still am, but in a very different capacity. Gone are the days when I was a humble bug squasher, valiantly clicking buttons until my mouse died of exhaustion. But now, I have ascended the staircase of heaven itself, and was blessed with the highest honor a person with no practical skills can be given. I became a manager. Not just of one discipline, mind you. Oh no. Somehow they let me manage 3. That's right. I wield unholy power over QA, UX, and the 2D art team at Paradox Development Studio Black. Trademark. My job is to ensure that they remain the best they can be, delivering the high-quality, trademark, experience that you know and love, and hopefully will continue to tolerate for many years to come. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who the hell invited this guy to write a dev diary? And why is he wasting my sacred weekly chance to hear actual news about this game I've sacrificed half my lifespan to? Well, little Billy, let me tell you. It all started when I got this message from my producer.
Hey, we have to delay the Silk Road dev diary and you're the only one not doing any actual work. Can you handle it?
So yeah, you're stuck with me. Sell up, because I've got a fresh unopened package of baked sponge cake and a burning desire to prove my usefulness to this studio of talented individuals. This isn't about the next DLC. In fact, most of the things you'll see here probably won't show up within the next calendar year. Maybe they'll never show up at all. Unless you beg really hard. Then maybe. What I'm here to do is show you the results of one of the most fun weeks we've ever had as a studio. Our, now, annual CK3 themed game jam. The Black Forge Jam. Glad you asked, imaginary heckler. Game Jam. 2 words. It's an event where a bunch of devs lock themselves into a room, survive exclusively on caffeine and untreated performance anxiety, all while trying to create something, usually a game, under typically 1 or more ridiculous constraints. The biggest one is always time, usually spanning around 24 to 72 hours. The second one is usually a theme. The theme can be anything. A genre, horror. A mechanic, you can only press 1 button. Or even just an adjective, hot. There are a bunch of popular jams running each year, like Ludum Dare or the Game Maker's Toolkit Jam, that are open to the public. Additionally, many game studios run their own internal jams, like us. If you want to see a beautiful, dramatic documentary of this kind of madness, I always recommend people checking out the Double Fine's Amnesia Fortnite documentary. Now, while I don't have Tim Schafer's creativity, charisma, or luscious curls, there's one thing we do share. An uncontrollable urge to make weird game stuff. First of all, shut up, nerd. Secondly, yes, I did say that, but managers are still great at one thing. That's telling smarter people what to do. And 2 years ago, I told people, let's do the greatest CK3 game jam in the world. And from that chaos, you got hits such as Choose a New Destiny mechanic and a revamped court positions window. Back in 2023, we kicked off our first jam with a simple restriction. Make something for Crusader Kings III. 3 days later, we had 11 projects, which we were all incredibly proud of. And all of which taught us a valuable lesson about working under brutal constraints. It turns out that limitation don't just breed creativity. They breed really cute ideas, like pugs or corgis. We even made a lovely video of that first jam, featuring many of my amazingly talented colleagues. In 2024, after much pathetic begging by me, upper management gave us the blessing to do it again. This time, instead of 3 days, we got a glorious 5-day stretch of chaos. Huge thanks to our production team, led by studio manager, who contractually, I must remind you, is fantastic, for finding us the time in our busy development schedule to afford a full week to jam. We needed it. Badly. Now, Jacob told me I had to hit the 1,500 word minimum, and I think I'm about halfway there just by insulting myself. So let's get to the good stuff. In the rest of this diary, you'll find a selection of projects from the 2024 jam. I won't show everything, partly because I don't want to, and partly because some of these projects might actually get turned into real features. After all, as professional game studio, trademark, we have to maintain the illusion that all of our features are product of deep and thoughtful design. Not a week of sleep deprivation, imposter syndrome, and 2,271.24,707 liters, or 600 gallons in freedom units, of free and delicious office coffee. But here's the thing. If you see something here that makes you go, holy hell, I need this in my life, let us know in the comments. Seriously. The only thing standing between you and these features is the eternal curse of, well, development costs money. And since my oven is broken and I can no longer bribe my producer with fresh Algerian baklava and our marked envelopes of euros, I need you. Yes, you. Your engagement might actually convince someone important to make it happen. So let's get jamming. What if fates could be more interesting? That was the question the first team set out to answer. Led by our cunning and dashingly talented 2D art lead, Gertax, 4 brave souls embarked on a mission to create a new system for fate compatibility and syncretism. So what did they manage to pull off in just a few days? Oh boy, so much. We got things like the ability to create syncretic fates, the concept of fate compatibility, an eminent heathen court position, syncretism drift, and that's not even close to everything. But wait, what the hell is syncretism actually? Good question. In short, syncretism is a measure of how much one's faith has adopted traditions from another. In this version of the system, syncretism drifts annually towards a compatibility value between 2 fates, influenced by factors such as fervor. Have 2 fates with high syncretism? Congratulations, they are now less hostile towards each other, which in CK terms means fewer angry neighbors trying to set your house on fire because you accidentally prayed to the wrong god. And here's the kicker. When syncretism between 2 fates is high, a ruler can create a syncretic variant. This new fate gets a 4th tenant, because 3 wasn't enough apparently, allowing it to use special buildings and artifacts from both parent religions. Take 1 tenant from Fate A, 1 from Fate B, and then a juicy 3rd convergent tenant that ties it all together. You can task a court chaplain to go to a county and promote syncretism between your faith and theirs. This will also decrease your faith fervor to improve organic syncretism, whereas religious relations will increase it to counteract it. There's way more to the system, but like I said earlier, I don't want to spoil it too much. This is genuinely something I'd love to see in the game someday. And, because I'm a turbo person, I wasted Gertax's time with a mini interview for this diary. Thanks Gertax, you're the best.
So, first question. Hello.
Hey!
How are you doing today?
I'm very STP today. What the fuck does STP mean?
How are you doing today?
I'm very STP today.
So, why did you come up with this project for the jam?
I felt like fate creation is a bit too arcadey, where the player can simply come up with something wild from scratch instead of having it be an organic development from the intersection of ideas from different religions. The change would be sudden instead of the result of continued interaction between worshippers and 2 different faiths. I think the new system would also empower the AI rulers to create their own syncretic fates without having too much narrative dissonance for the player.
So what was your favorite part of working on this jam project?
My favorite part of working on this project was sitting down with the team and coming up with the systemic solutions for this project.
And finally, what inspiring life advice would you give to our fans listening?
Live for others, and your own troubles will assume their real significance. Unless you've been living under a rock or just have a healthy social life, you've probably heard about the mod Obfuscate by JP78. It's a brilliant mod that hides information your character shouldn't logically know, like the exact percentage of a murder scheme or the stats of some random count you've never met. It's one of my favorite mods, and I recommend everyone to give it a shot. Though, fortunately the mod creator has held off with updating it for now. If you want to know more, a certain proud Bavarian made a great video on it a couple years back. This jam project was partly inspired by that mod, but with a twist. While Obfuscate tries to really hide people and have different effects for them with more visible levels, Terra Obscura is focused more around diplomatic contact and visualization. Led by one of our most senior programmers, Joror, his team set out to create an entirely new CK experience, one where not only characters but also the map itself is shrouded in mystery. The core concept hinges on diplomatic contact, a measure of how much knowledge you have about another realm. Want to expand on knowledge? You send out a new court position, the Diplomatic Envoy, to explore the Terra Obscura and establish ties with other rulers. The idea is to limit the overwhelming flood of information you normally have, and instead let you discover other realms as your diplomatic range expands. It adds immersion, focus, and a creeping sense of dread when you suddenly learn that the neighbor you just uncovered has 20k troops and a personal grudge to settle with you for making love to their spouse.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Busy. Working out kinks in the system.
So why did you come up with this project for the Blackforge Jam?
I'm a player who likes discovery in my games, and so while I enjoy peeking around the map, I wondered what it would look like if I only knew my surroundings in CK3. Visually and mechanically, it could add a cool angle. The data hiding part I see as a toggleable optional, on top of more diplomacy mechanics.
And what was your favorite part of working on this jam project?
Seeing the map realm hiding work out nicely, visually, on the paper map.
And what inspiring life advice would you give to our fans listening right now?
Understand that every person can experience the world in a radically different way from your own. We have 8 billion players in the world, each running and modifying their own client software. There's no one correct way to play. Now, I might be biased here because I actually joined this team, but remember that part earlier where I said I had no useful skills? Yeah, unfortunately that was not a joke. Thankfully, our team, led by Shadling, was merciful. He gave me a task. Hey Riad, let's come up with some flavor text for the 12 zodiac signs. Should take you about an hour. We'll handle the rest. Dear listener, it took me all 5 days. Astronomicon introduced an astrological system to CK3. Characters got zodiac signs based on their birthdays, which affected their traits, relationships, and of course, gave everyone new reasons to bully Scorpios. Not just on TikTok, but also in Crusader Kings. Since we're working on All Under Heaven, our upcoming major expansion, we based it on the Chinese zodiac. Simplified version, sure, but it featured 12 signs with both active and passive effects tied to the current year. If you were born in the year of the dog, your year is one of challenge and transformation, where your abilities are tested. We also experimented with marriage compatibility based on zodiac signs, because why let dating apps have all the fun? And the piece de resistance, we added a spinning wheel. Also, please enjoy this picture of a snake that Egghorse drew for the zodiac. Here's a short interview with Shadling.
Hello.
Hey,
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
So why did you come up with this project for the Blackforge Jam?
I came up with this idea for Astronomicon based on my interest in ancient and modern astrology. I've read passages from Menelaus's Astronomica, and I think it's fascinating to track the changes in belief systems like this, which span multiple cultures, time periods, and even religions.
So what was your favorite part of working on this jam project?
I don't have a ton of knowledge about the Chinese zodiac, so the best part of this past Blackforge Jam was getting to research that and come up with basic astrology system, which could support multiple types of systems while remaining moddable. Think bird signs in the Elder Scrolls.
And what inspiring life advice would you give to our fans listening right now?
My one piece of advice is to just start. You're only limited by your own misconceptions. Now, I know what you're thinking. What is astrology doing in my hardcore medieval map painter? To which I reply, sharp nerd. Secondly, if we now do decide to include this in the game, we would of course have to adapt the feature accordingly to ensure that all supernatural elements would be purged. For example, we have witches in the game. Clearly witches don't have powers in real life, so instead, we focus on the psychological effects now. Or effects that can be explained as psychological. Now secondly, the reason we do the Blackforge Jam isn't always so strictly to make stuff that could or should be in the game. For us, it's a way to challenge ourselves to experiment with unfamiliar systems. For example, I learned a scripting language during the jam, while our poor UX designer and programmer spent 2 entire days trying to make the damn wheel spin. Fun fact, it's apparently absurdly difficult to make a wheel spin in this engine. This is not Unreal Engine, son. Anyways, for the last one, here's something many of you have asked about for a while. There was a comment ages ago asking how cool it would be to see sprawling cities on the map. And when I saw that, oh boy, my heart skipped a beat, since I knew we have already done this. Honestly, that single comment inspired me to finally sit down and write this dev diary, as I was supposed to do months ago. So picture this, playing Crusader Kings III, greatest game in the world. You've just conquered some shiny new land, zoom in on your freshly vassalized city and... disappointment. A sprawling city of tens of thousands of people, represented by like 3 huts and a goat. But then, our next team lead appears, shining with divine light. She declares, City Sprawls. This team of brave artists and our genius tech lead created a system to dynamically generate city layouts. As your development level increased, the cities would visually sprawl out. More houses, more density, more, oh no, my peasant housing bubble is collapsing vibes. Low development, sparse clusters of buildings. High development, bustling medieval metropolis. I'm simplifying, but the tech and artwork behind it was phenomenal. Did it run at 4K 120 FPS with RTX on? No. We had 5 days, not 5 months. But it does work, and it looks damn fucking cool.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Amazing.
Why did you come up with this project for the Jam?
A little chit chat with a game director sparked this idea.
So what was your favorite part of working on this Jam project?
Teamwork. The results were also very satisfying.
Oh, goodness, a lot to work with, huh? What inspiring life advice would you give to our fans?
Be true to yourself. Like I said at the start, I'd love for some of these to eventually make it into the game, but since free labor went out of fashion centuries ago, actually finishing them would take time and budget. Can't promise all of them, but we'd like to focus on the ones you, the community, are most excited about. So, let us know what you think. And hey, got another jam coming this December. Is there anything you'd love to see us tackle? Pitch it. Who knows? Maybe your idea gets stolen by team leader and turned into a Blackfoot Jam 2025 trademark project. Before I finish off the last half of my Japanese baked sponge cake, it's coconut flavored by the way, I want to leave you with one last thing. What I've shown you here is just a fraction of the total jam. In 2023, we had 11 projects in total, and in 2024, we have 13. So technically, I only spoiled about 16.6% of them. Yes, I did the math. So, to compensate for this, here's some random screenshots from other jam projects. Can you guess what they were about? Every correct answer, I'll post a dog picture on our forums. Fare thee well, until next time, a dev diary gets delayed.
First, I'd like to extend our deepest apologies to the Wicca community. We're sorry we said that you don't have actual power. Please do not hex us. We have a lot of stuff to work on.
Please. I really don't want to get hexed.
No spells.
Yes. God, this was a fun one.
It was.
Yeah. The last interview didn't really give us much to work with, but I appreciate. Like, they had like 15 minutes to do the interview.
Everybody's working on stuff. We're trying to get All Under Heaven finished.
Right.
So it's understandable.
Yeah, and I know, like I said before, like I know you expected a real dev diary this time, and we did plan for one actually. We did plan for showing off some cool stuff. Am I allowed to say?
Yeah, say we were going to show off the Silk Road.
Yeah, exactly. I think I mentioned it in the script as well. But yeah, the Silk Road was supposed to be shown off, but there was some stuff that happened and we had to delay it, so I jumped in instead and did this.
And I appreciate it dearly.
Yes.
Thank you, Riad.
Thank you so much.
And thank you everyone for listening. Usual spiel, like, subscribe. Come back next week. We'll have some more shit for you then.
And hit that notification button.
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell.